Hey y'all, for my service learning experience project, I went to my local pregnancy resource center here in Henry County, Georgia, the Bridge Wellness South. At the Bridge Wellness South, they do free pregnancy tests and ultrasounds, as well as options counseling. Options counseling is when a woman comes in a crisis pregnancy and they don't know what they want to do with the pregnancy. They discuss their different options from parenting, adoption, and if they have questions about abortion, they will address it, but they never refer or recommend, seeing how they are a faith-based facility. Also at the Bridge, they offer an educational program. During this educational program, the parents, the mother and father, will come in and take classes. Those classes range everything from the different trimesters, parenting, potty training, faith-based classes, and it varies, honestly. They even have a father program where the dads can come in, they meet, and they not only have like a Bible study, but they also go over what it's like to be a father, different struggles in it. And they have other community events where the mothers can come in and do things together as well. Because it is a nonprofit, all their donations from their donors come in and it goes to run the facility. But also sometimes it's not monetary, it's items. So with these items, they have set up a boutique. And with that boutique, the parents who take the classes earn the points and they get to go shopping. So they have everything that baby may need. So that's kind of like what I helped with a little bit at the facility for one of my portions. But I worked with three amazing women. I worked with Sonia, who's the executive director. I worked with Marchene, who is the client services director. And I worked with Cassandra, who is the manager. And one thing I noticed when I was working there is that they all were giving gifts from God. In 1 Peter 4:10, it says, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others. And that is exactly what they do. I knew when I was trying to find an organization I wanted to work with for this project, that there were some things I needed to dive a little bit more into to see how public health, what are the core things for a public health project. So I went to the Public Health Foundation page, and on there they talk about different core competencies that are important when it comes to a public health professional. And the two that really stood out to me was the communication skills. Through the communication skills, I feel like this is something that is important no matter the type of relationship. Whether it is personal, it is work, you need to have an open line of communication. And also that they partner with other organizations in the area, which is something I feel like they are really doing at this facility. So to dive in to a little bit of what we did, Sonia, I'll start with her. She is the executive director, but she has not always been the executive director. And this is one thing I feel like is very important because she has started from the bottom and worked her way up in her 7 or 8 years that she's been there. So by doing that, it allows everyone in the building to have respect for her because she has sat in each of their roles. She knows what it's like in that role. With her, we worked on marketing. We did marketing promo videos. We also went over different marketing engagements that they could do in the community. We were able to set up a booth at a event, and at that event they got to partner with other nonprofits in the area. And then that kind of leads into what I did with Marchene, which was we did the boutique. We pulled items that the parents have voice that they really would use. And that kind of connected with the whole marketing thing because we were able to, in the videos and all the publication things that they did, kind of put out there like, hey, these are the items that are really important for these parents that they want. While the clothes are cute, safety kits are more important to them because they get to keep their baby safe. And then we also got to organize it so that way when videos were being recorded, they could use the boutique as a backdrop. So that way these donors can really see what their money is going to, and that it's not just given to this organization not to be used appropriately. And then I worked with Cassandra. We did the resource guide for the girls and the men as well. So this resource guide goes to every patient that comes in and is determined to be pregnant. And this was very important because when you're going into a new pregnancy or any type of health care of any sort, trying to find something for you, you don't know where to start. If you're trying to apply for insurance, it can be very confusing. So through this resource guide, we were able to make it easy and laid out for the girls to follow. The first page talked about how to apply for Medicaid, where to apply for Medicaid, what you need. Then it goes on to, once you have gotten approved for Medicaid, or if you don't need Medicaid, the doctors that they have partnered with to get their name out there, the center has, that way they can then know, hey, we're being referred to through this organization. And it goes all the way into different counseling options. And lastly, it talks about the different stages of pregnancy, which is something every mom wants to know. Like, what am I going to experience during that stage? To the last page was all about the INVEST program. It's one big circle about how to make an organization run. It all has to flow. And that's what I feel like this resource guide did, was it kind of brought in the education to the health side. And then lastly, we made a larger resource guide for the advocates to be able to use. And in this resource guide, it had more than what the clients did. That way they could tailor the specific needs that the patient is vocalizing to them. They could give them those resources so they weren't having to go out and search on their own. And I feel like that's very important because we need to be able to link a good healthcare system to the public's needs.